and more this and that. How's everyone today? So I think we successfully are streaming to YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, will someone go check? And well, if you're on YouTube joining me, welcome. And if you're here on Whatnot with me and wouldn't mind checking YouTube to see if we are live on YouTube, because I'm seeing on here it shows that we're there. So that's exciting. So that means you'll be able to go to YouTube to watch past shows. Hey, CNG Signs and Sapphire Stitchery, welcome in. So everybody read the show notes. And if you are not subscribing to my YouTube channel and want to be able to watch my past shows, it looks like we've successfully linked and are streaming live on YouTube. And I wanted to use YouTube since they took away the past shows so that you guys can go there and watch shows you've missed or, so on. So as of today, hopefully you'll be able to do that. All right, I'm live on YouTube. Walking on the treadmill, welcome. So thanks for joining us. And yeah, on YouTube, what it will do is it'll save it in my channel. And so if you miss part of a show or miss the whole show and want to go back and be able to watch it, you can. So that's exciting. We're live on YouTube. And welcome in Mel's Marketplace. The thing that's cool about streaming to YouTube also is that it has the QR code link that people can just click and it will bring them right on in to Whatnot. So, and they can then sign up or whatever. So that's exciting. So if you want to learn how to do that, yeah, so you can multicast on both YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I don't use Twitch, so I haven't attempted that. But yeah, those are the three that you can stream onto. Hey, Kinetic, welcome. Good morning. And KMC, new to you. Welcome. And Kim Z, thanks for joining us. So yeah, those are the three that you can multicast to. And yeah, it seems like they should be able to get Instagram up, but maybe because they already have Facebook, it kind of does both. But welcome, Lisa by Design. Good morning. I mean, it doesn't automatically stream there, but yeah, I don't know if you can you do live streams on Instagram already that are, I guess I don't know enough about how Instagram does. I mean, I use Instagram, but mostly just to put posts and stuff. So I've never gone live on Instagram. All right, so everybody read the show notes. And if you need help with multicasting, DArchivist put up on her YouTube channel, put up a video on how to multicast through the Whatnot. So you can go watch that. There's just a couple of tricks. One is that you do have to have at least 50 subscribers, and then you have to link your account on the device that you're streaming from. And so there's a little bit of a setup that you have to do. And if for some reason it just wasn't working very well on mine, and I finally got it to go through. So not sure what I did, but I did something right. Welcome, dragons and gypsies. And thank you, Liz Rue, for joining through the link from Kim. Hey, PJ's Patchwork, how are you this morning? And G392, welcome in. Everybody read the show notes and make sure you're following each other. Please use the opportunity to be in these chats to network with other sellers. And it's just a way to meet people, find other sellers that you have things in common with, support each other by following each other and bookmarking each other's shows. And feel free to shout out, what you sell, when your next show is. Ask for bookmarks. Don't be shy. We'll follow you. We'll go bookmark your shows. So, I'm limited to what I can do while I'm walking, but everybody in chat can do that for each other. And and I'll try and follow back people who request to follow. So, yeah, do all that stuff to kind of network and help each other out. All right. So I had a show last night where I was in person in front of the camera. If you were there, thanks for joining. And I wasn't able to get that one up on YouTube, but I am live casting now. So starting today, hopefully I will be able to get all my shows on YouTube, and then you'll be able to go watch past shows. So Meg's Finds. I sell fabric, yarn, and other finds as well. Thank you so much for creating a sense of community. Yes, absolutely. And Meg's Finds, you'll find that, as you start interacting with the community in the categories that you sell in, that you'll just feel that more and more. So there's a lot of really great sellers, a lot of amazing, nice people. And, it's just a really good community. There's always a few buggers out there, but we just ignore them or block them or move on. So, yeah. And there's buggers in every category. Some categories have more just because they are more popular categories with a larger audience. But yeah, everybody's, for the most part, very nice, very helpful, very kind, and very supportive. So, welcome, Rosemary. Thanks for joining. So yeah, and the key with that is, if you have someone really doing something egregious, just block and report. Otherwise, ignore, move on. Don't let it. They win if you give them any more than that 1 second of your time. And so yeah. So KMC had first show last week. I have 4 new Attack Swimmer shows scheduled for those who are ready to think about warmer weather. Awesome. Yeah, and swimwear is one of those categories, although there's obviously seasons that are more, that people are more willing to buy swimwear. It's a year-round thing because people vacation, go on cruises, have pools, live in warmer climates. All the lucky people who live where you can swim year round. So it is one of those things that you can sell year round. And people are always looking for a newer, nicer suit. So that's awesome. So everybody please give KMC a follow and bookmark those swimwear shows for her in support. And if you're looking for swimwear, absolutely. Yeah, when we fluctuate weight, yeah, unfortunately that happens a little bit too often, and usually it's in the positive direction as far as weight gain instead of the other way around. We all try. Age is not kind to our metabolism. Let's just say that. I'm in that 55 plus category. I know too well how that works. Welcome in K Dyson. Welcome in. All right, so let me get some of my documents pinned for anyone that hasn't joined us before. This is my Draz top 10 tips for sellers, and it's just an item I pin. I don't run it as an auction item. It's just there for you to screenshot. And so if you click the picture of the document and click it again, bring it up big, you'll see this, and you can just screenshot it. And it's kind of a list of the 10 commandments of what to do, what you should be doing on Whatnot to be successful. And it's not meant to be a very super detailed. It's not detailed at all. It's just a list of 10 things you should be doing. And the details are in, listening, watching, taking notes, and learning how to do all the things on this list. And we talk about them in my shows. I hope that it's helpful. Meg says it is. That's good. But consistency is the key with all of these things. All these 10 things. You should be doing all of these things consistently. So if you're missing out on, one of those things that you're not doing consistently, it can kind of derail the whole process. For example, let's say you're doing everything really good except for number 4. Number 4, stay live for at least 1 to 3 hours. If you're doing everything else, but you're not staying live long enough, do you think you're going to be successful? Probably not, because you're not on there long enough for people to find you and to, because the app is all about who's coming in and out, and when you're live long enough for people to find you. And so you've got to stay live long enough to be found. So everything else is not going to be very successful because you aren't live long enough. That's an example. So kind of you have to be doing all these things consistently. And don't let it overwhelm you, because it's just kind of the normal process. It's just a reminder of all the different things you need to be doing so that you can be successful on Whatnot. And the more you do all of these things, the faster you grow. So that's just the truth. The more you do it, the faster you can grow. If you want a slower growth, it's okay. If you have a full-time job and you can't go live, every day of the week, that's understandable. But keep in mind, your growth on here, it depends on how quickly and how much you're able to do all of these things. So that's kind of the rule of thumb. And there's nothing on here about shipping, because that's a whole other beast. If you need help with shipping, the document you need to screen print is this one that I just pinned, the Shipping 101. Click that picture, click it again, swipe over. There's 3 pages of information with links, and you can get this same document on Seller Academy and get all the links you need. And then there's a 4th page here that is this shipping decision tree that I think is really helpful, because it puts it in a visual of, okay, what does it look like? How much does it weigh? Here's the kind of packaging you can choose. So it's very visual. And a lot of people need that. All right, so make sure you get that document screenshotted. Just click the picture, bring it up big, and screenshot those documents. All right. If you have questions or problems or things you're trying to figure out, please put them in the chat with a question mark, so it shows up bold, so I'll recognize it. And welcome. Let's see. Rocco's mom's here. Anacel Termit's here. Shoe Cheese is here. Many Treasures is here. Hey, Go Vintage with Bree is here. Jen Stutz is here. Mernat is here. Twix Brown is here. Welcome in. So read the show notes. Make sure you're following everybody that you don't recognize in the chat. Please feel free to shout out your shows and tell us what you do. And I would love to share anyone who would love me to show your profile and get some feedback on what you're doing, what you've got going on. Let me know if you want me to look at your profile. And let's talk about envelope shipping. Envelope shipping. So if you would like to do giveaways, but you don't love how much it costs you as the seller to ship items as giveaways, you need to figure out the envelope shipping options so that you can send stickers, cards, gift cards, and other things right now so that you don't have to pay as much shipping. Okay, you are so welcome, Gina. Yeah, so shipping is kind of one of the things that people are shy about. Kinetic Glaze says ribbon, yes. So anything that is flat, flexible, not more than 0.25 inches thick, that can go in a paper envelope, you can send as a giveaway. So I send little squares of fabric that people can make bookmarks out of. I send stickers. I send cards. I know someone who was sending the little, she sells in beauty products, and she was sending the little face masks that come in foil packs that are the kind that you open and add water. You know, it's like a little thin papery thing that you put on your face. I was like, that's brilliant, because it's something she can probably buy in bulk for inexpensive and use those as a giveaway. And it costs her 69 cents, 73 cents with the fee to send those, instead of sending giveaways that are costing her, $4 to $7 in shipping. So if you need to get that figured out, envelope shipping guide is here. I just pinned that one. So just click that sheet, click it again. This is a really boring document, but it outlines, everything you need to do to get this set up so that you can do the inexpensive shipping for giveaways. Also, I always have some stickers in my Buy It Now that people can gift to chat or buy as an inexpensive item to support me as a seller, and it only costs them that cheaper shipping as well. So you should always have items like that. Okay. Let's see. I do gift cards and iMasks, so running those as 0 to 1 ounce, but jewelry I've been doing 1 to 3 ounce. Yeah, gift cards and iMasks you can send in envelopes. So set up that envelope shipping, because instead of costing you $4, it's going to cost you 73 cents. Big difference. And you just set it up as a card or a sticker, and then you use envelope as the weight. But you've got to get it set up and turned on in your shipping settings first. So read this document that I have pinned and get it set up, and then you'll be able to do it. Now, the key with those is there are rules about it. You shouldn't be sending anything valued over $20 in an envelope, and it doesn't have any kind of tracking. So if it's not something that, or if it is something that you want them to be able to have tracking on, then don't use the envelope option, because that's literally snail mail in an envelope, U.S. first class postage in an envelope, and there's no tracking. So, yeah. PJ's Patchwork, can you share your thoughts on selling in different categories and pros and cons of setting up a separate seller account? I probably would not set up a different seller account, because you're starting from scratch. If you do that, selling in other categories, absolutely. I sell in multiple categories. I sell in quilting, fabric, sewing. I also sell in craft supplies, and I will also do shows that are under vintage decor. And as long as you keep active in those multiple categories by doing shows regularly enough that you have a following in those categories, or do raid trains in those other categories, it should be enough to keep you with a consistent audience. Because the con of setting up a separate seller account is you're having to start completely over from scratch. The only reason I would do that is if something negative happened under your current account that has made it so you've, derailed that account and you need to start fresh. Otherwise, you've got all the followers already, you've got an established group of people who follow you, so it would be hard to start all the way over. All right, let's see. So KMC, it's definitely all about perspective. I'm used to having to pay $7.99 for giveaway shipping on that other place. Yeah, that's true. So, it is perspective, but it's been a game changer for me as far as, how much I'm putting out for giveaways in a show, because I spend a lot less on my follower giveaways. And then, your buyer giveaways usually don't cost you too much because they already bought something. And so the shipping is rolled in with what they already bought most of the time. So, but yeah, if you want to try and save on shipping, come up with some creative ways to still do nice giveaways that you can send in an envelope. Yeah, and you're welcome, PJ. I hope that helped. I mean, there's not a one size fits all answer for that question, because, it just depends on, your situation. But I would say that you should always be trying to cross over into other categories by, one of the things that you need to remember too is when you list something in your show, in your auction, or in your buy it now, if that item is something that's outside of the category that you normally sell in, make sure you use that other category, because that brings in, just having an item that is from a different category can bring you people from those other categories. So like if you're selling fabric, for example, but you have some stuff in your buy it now that's just random stuff, make sure it's in the right category, because it will, it gives you listings in other categories. And when I'm doing fabric shows, if something is more of a craft item, I will list it as a craft item versus a fabric item, because then it's also bringing in, people who search for craft. So always put your listing category as what it really is, so that you get that crossover. And then also do raid trains, and every once in a while do a show that has a different category, so that you can get those crossovers. So I love that idea, because I can do more giveaways in a show. I haven't tried a buyer one yet. How does that work? So buyer giveaways, just when you set up the giveaway, instead of the default, it defaults to follower, but choose buyer when you're setting it up. And then it has another little field that comes up where you enter the rules. And the rules usually are just must be present to win. And a buyer giveaway has to be entered before you start the show, because it only allows people who bought something to enter unless they go fill out the form, right? And so if you enter it during the live show, anyone that bought before you entered it is not going to be eligible, because they didn't buy after you entered it. Does that make sense? So make sure you enter buyer giveaways before your show. Have them set up. and ready to go. And trying to think. And yeah, if they already buy something and they've already hit like the max shipping, depending on how you do your shipping, then it's not going to cost you as the seller much more to either nothing or not as much to sell that or to send that because they already paid part of the shipping. All right. Do you have any suggestions about how to list when you have 200 items that you want to auction them all in your show? Listing individually takes time. So I would suggest having about 20 to 30 that you actually have listed with pictures. Pick your best items, list those, and then you need to have some generic listings that are just by weight. So it might say, so like if you sell clothing, it might say clothing, 8 to 11 ounces, clothing, 12 to 15 ounces, clothing, 1 to 2 pounds. And then you have multiple units on that listing. And then anything else that you didn't have pre-listed, you can sell under those generic listings by weight. Okay. Look in some of my scheduled shows and you'll see kind of how I do that. Most sellers who do random pulls, that's what they have. They just have a generic listing. And big sellers who do huge volumes, they sell everything through one listing, usually, depending on how they have it set up. I would not recommend that until you have a big enough volume that you can afford to pay most of the shipping if people buy a lot of stuff. Because you can't do that if you're not able to offset it by how much you sell. Sassamom bookmarked KMC. Thank you for doing that. All right, Meg's Find. I have a ton of scrapbook paper that I no longer use and thought about selling it, but it's 12 by 12. I have no idea how I'd ship that. Any recommendations? Yes. So I also selling crafts. I also have paper that size. The way I've been doing it is I sell it in 1 pound lots. So I don't sell them individually. So I get together either, if there's some of those booklets of paper that already weigh a pound, or you get a stack of, sheets that are a variety and weigh a pound. And that way you can ship it in the medium side load flat rate box, a pound of paper, because it's over a pound, and that works. So that's how I do it. And I just don't sell individual sheets of paper because, there's no way to safely ship that under a pound outside of a box. Let's see. Yeah, the side load box. Yeah, Sassamom's right. You are welcome. And, you can do it different ways. You can have sets already pre-made, or people tend to want to pick what they get. So you can maybe have, you can have them pick the sheets they want, but it has to equal a pound before they buy it, if that makes sense. So you kind of say, I don't know, that kind of derails shows, though, to take too long for it. What I usually do is I just start adding paper to a pile, and once it hits a pound, I run it so they saw everything I added. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And just have a starting price that you're comfortable with for a pound of paper. All right, if you have multiple unlisted item listings at different weight, how do you keep the repeat auction numbers straight when shipping? So if you use the numbering system, you're going to want to reset your numbers right before you go live so that you can keep it straight. So if you use those multiple listings, just go in and change it back to, 100 or 200 or whatever, and then you'll know that 200 was the first item, 201 was the second item, and so on. Just reset the numbers on the number of units before you go live, so that it has, a number that you're going to be able to recognize. So, I don't use that system because my husband helps me in our shows, and I'm fortunate because we work together. And so we do a bin system. So as soon as I sell something, we start a bin for that person, and it makes it so easy to ship because everybody just has a bin with their name on it. And when we go to ship, we just verify that the number of items in the bin matches what it says they have. And if we have to verify anything, we look at the video. But if you don't have help, it's harder to do that if you do a fast-paced show. So if you do slower paced shows and you have room, you can do something like that. And you can even do it really inexpensively by just taking boxes that you already have and taping them together into some kind of cube. Just take duct tape and take uniform boxes and tape them together in some kind of big cube system shelf thing. And you have a cubby for every customer that you just put a sticky note at the opening. And this is your bin, this is your bin. You can do that if you do a lower volume, slower pace show, smaller items. So like if you sell jewelry or smaller things and you want to do a system like that, you can. But if you do the numbering, you would just reset the numbers. Start them at 200 or whatever, and then it counts up or down. So counts your inventory down, but it puts the number 201, 202, 203, and so on. All right. Let's see. Yeah, and everybody, you just have to figure out what works for you to be able to, do your show, stay organized, get your things put together to be able to ship. Hey, Lisa, welcome in. And so it just depends. So Lisa by Design is doing crafting live today at 11 and a raid train on the 22nd at 2. So everybody give her a follow and go bookmark those for her. Welcome in Velvet and Vine and Keaton Looper. And feel free, just like Lisa by Design did, and shout out your shows. And please do everybody a solid and go bookmark, follow, and do that for each other. It really does help when you're in shows like this, just to get you a little boost, get some more bookmarks, get some more followers. It does help. And that's something you can do for each other, even though you may not necessarily go shop their shows or even be there. Just having additional followers and additional bookmarks helps your algorithms as far as how you show up in search when people are looking for shows. So definitely do that for each other. Good morning, Maud Vintage. How are you? All right, so I've got the envelope shipping guide pinned there. If you want the instructions for how to set up envelope shipping to do the inexpensive sticker, card, flat items in a paper envelope shipping for 73 cents instead of having to spend $4 to $7 on giveaways for shipping, make sure you screenshot that, follow the instructions to the T. The main key is you've got to set it up in your shipping settings, in your main profile shipping, on your seller hub, but also any existing shows you already have scheduled. You need to update the shipping settings because it doesn't automatically update your shipping settings when you change it in your main profile, because you have the ability to have a different shipping setting in each show. So you've got to make sure that if you want something different in your shipping setting, that you update the individual shows as well. Bop Jang is doing live Friday, 9 a.m. to noon women's clothing. Awesome. Everybody give Bop Jang a follow and go bookmark that show. Let's see. Kinetic is doing variety of non-quilt fabric textiles tonight at 8:15. Apparel and leather. Ooh, leather scraps. So if you like to craft with leather, you definitely want to check that out. So Kinetic is awesome. She has amazing stuff, you guys, and is a very experienced crafter, sewist, and she has lots of good stuff. So if you love things in that category, make sure you check that out. All right, Mod Vintage has vintage clothing shows Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:15. Wow, that's a common time, huh? Eastern. This week, new arrivals and winter closeouts. Very good. So please give Mod Vintage a follow and bookmark those shows. And I do try to get you guys followed back. If you follow me, I check notifications. And my only request would be, please don't send me your shows in the messaging, because it's really hard to. I use the messaging for groups and raid trains and things like that. And if my message system gets clogged down with everybody sharing their shows, it makes it hard. So please don't do that. I know the system kind of makes it seem like that's what you should be doing, but it really is kind of spammy to just send everybody your shows. Use your groups, use your social media to share your shows. That's much more effective than trying to individually send your shows to just individual users, especially if it's just random. So, not a good use of your time, and it comes across as spammy. All right, Sassamom has a leather show on the 19th and lace and vintage buttons on the 19th as well. Okay, awesome. Cosmetics. Lisa has cosmetics Saturday at 11. Hey, Kimmy Sweet Deals, welcome in. All right, what questions do you guys have? What are the things that are the most difficult for you right now? Someone tell me, what's the most difficult thing on Whatnot for you right now? What are you having the hardest time with? What are you struggling with? What is keeping you from growing at the pace or at financially doing better? What do you feel like is your struggle? Have you ever done a co-host show? Yes. So it's very easy to co-host. You just click the person's name on the screen and I'll show you. So AK, I'm not going to necessarily co-host you unless you want to, but I just click your name. Let's first of all give you a follow. And then on the menu that pops up, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one down is invite to co-host. Right there. Okay. So if you wanted to invite someone to co-host, it allows them to then come in. They have to respond on their side. And so obviously you want to have it prearranged because they have to respond and say, yes, they want to co-host. And then it splits the screen. They come on. You both can talk. It does also notify everyone that follows them that they went live. So that's a really good benefit for co-hosting, because not only do your followers know you're live, but the person you invite to co-host, it notifies all their followers. The only thing you can't still do is both sell. Only the originating seller can sell. So what you might want to do is go live, invite a co-host, and let them stay for a minute, visit, do some things while you're selling, and then have them go off, go live, and then you rate into them and they co-host you. So that way you kind of get the advantage of both sellers, followers, and you both kind of get the opportunity to co-host. So that's an idea. What I've done with co-hosting is I bring sellers on who have bought fabric from me, and then we do a little feature where they come on and share the things that they've made. I've done that several times, and that's been fun. And if anyone ever wants to do that, my only requirement is that you share at least one thing you made with something you bought from me, and then you're free to show whatever you want and, have people follow you, bookmark your shows if you sell on Whatnot. And if you don't sell on Whatnot, you're still allowed to show everything, and you can share your social media if you have, or your own website. All right. Let's see. My supply is not keeping up with my demand. Oh, well, that's a good problem to have. So, do you want to talk about sourcing a little bit? So we can. So let's see. I'm looking at the problems here. So Kinetic says having shows going when big sellers go live, viewers drop by 75%. Ideas on how to keep them. Yeah, that's a struggle. It's a struggle for me too, because we're in kind of a niche category and we only have so many people, in our lives in that category. And so the things that I have done is you work around, you look when the opportunity is the best, and you have to curate shows. Have things in advance so people know what you're doing, and try to, keep an audience because you're doing something very specific that they want, so they want to be there because they don't want to miss it. It's also hard because we have some bigger sellers that come on and stay live for hours and hours and keep a pretty big audience, and it's hard to compete with that. So you just have to kind of work around it. Have to pay for storage or rent a warehouse. And so I have to constantly remind myself that, I want to stay at this level so that I want to consistently grow, but I don't want to have to start paying employees and rent a warehouse. I don't want to grow that big. And so it's kind of a fine line of, growth and keeping within what you want to do. So you look for time. I'm having trouble with seeing comments. I have the show running on my phone in the ring light. I have a laptop on my desk nearby. Talk about setup. Yeah, that can be difficult. If you don't have moderator, someone that can help you with shows, you probably want to get some kind of stand that you can put an iPad or your laptop up on so that it's more at eye level so that you can see the chat. Because it's really important to be able to interact with your chat. Because if people are making requests and you're missing everything, it is a real struggle. Some people are masters at it. And if you don't have really good eyesight or you're having, like me, I have to wear readers just to see anything. So yeah, that's a real struggle. So you've got to, get some kind of stand, get some of kind of tall table that you can put something up higher so that you're going to be able to see your chat. Some people broadcast to their TV in the background, and the show can't see the TV, but you can. So, maybe your TV is in the background where you can see it with the chat on, and it's, up there on the screen. And so that would just be that you're, if you have like Roku or something, you cast your stream onto the TV. Does that make sense? I've seen a lot of people do that. So, you just have to figure out what's going to work for you. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anything in there from that. We're going to talk on my show on the 19th. That's the topic that we're talking about this month in our community chats, is how to get an audience, keep an audience. What are free things that you can do to try and get more people in your shows? So, and one of them is what I'm doing right now, which is multicasting to other platforms. That's a good thing to do. You should be sharing on social media like crazy. Those are free things that you can do. You need to be networking. You need to be raiding. You need to be part of raid trains. All those things. But when it comes down to it, honestly, it comes down to engagement. What are you doing? Still being genuinely you that will keep an audience in the room. And you're going to have to do some deep soul searching about that. What can you do, to have people want to be there and stay there and be more engaging, but still be authentic? So, and that's tough. I mean, I'm lucky because I have my husband there and he's fun. He keeps the chat lively. If it were just me, it probably wouldn't be as fun because I'm more like pragmatic business. Let's get this done kind of, and he's more loose and fun and keeps things exciting in the show. All right. Oh, did you lose sound? Can you guys all hear me? Yeah, I use, during a live show, I use my phone to stream from. That's the streaming device. And then I have a laptop that I use to run the show. And then my husband has we have an extra phone that's actually an Android phone that we use as our moderator phone. And I like having an Android because we use iOS, but we have this old Android phone. So here's an idea. If you have an old phone that you haven't gotten rid of, you can still connect it to your Wi-Fi, right? And you can still stream on there as long as it's not too ancient that it won't download the app. But you can use that old phone as another device that you can moderate on. Ask, if you don't have one, ask your family. Someone in your family probably has an old cell phone that they haven't gotten rid of. And as long as it's not too old, you can use that as another device that you just connect to your Wi-Fi, log into your account, or you can have it logged in under someone else to be a moderator. Does that make sense? So that gives you another device to be able to set somewhere or to hold or whatever. If it's logged into your account, you can use it to run the show. If you want to have just another device to moderate chat, you can have it, just connected to your show to see the chat. Does that make sense? Okay. So there's another idea. Because, it's expensive to have to go out and buy another laptop or another iPad or, all those things. So just get another cell phone that maybe doesn't even have cell service. Doesn't matter. Just connect to Wi-Fi and use it to moderate your chat. So how can we stream to IG while we're live? You can't stream to Instagram. The ones that you can live stream to are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And it's built in to the system on Whatnot. So the way that you do that, I'll show you really quick. So on my show that is later today, if I open that show and click Start Show, and instead of hitting Go Live, see how it has YouTube and Facebook and it says they're both active? That's how you do it. You can edit your streaming options. You click that, and then you just have to connect your Facebook or your YouTube or both before you go live, before you hit Go Live. Yeah, so you can stream to YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. Those are the ones they have connected. And if you need to watch the video on how to do that, well, Whatnot has an article. Just go to frequently asked questions and type in multicasting. They have an article, a complete article that goes through the process. DArchivist put up a video about how to connect to YouTube for Whatnot. It's really not hard. It's pretty automated, but yeah, you are welcome. So let's see. We just got a raid. Who raided us? Heart Up Living. Thank you so much for the raid. Everybody give Heart Up Living a follow. Let me make sure I'm following you. I'm now following you, Heart Up. And let's view your profile. Heart Up Living is Cindy. And does she have some upcoming shows we can bookmark? Yes. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Encouragement and advice for your soul. I love it. So everybody give Heart Up Living a follow and bookmark tomorrow's show. Bookmark her upcoming shows. And thank you so much for joining us. All right. And let me scroll back here. Is that new? Live streaming? No, that's been there for a while. I don't know how it works on Android, to be honest. But I think you can multicast from Android. Do you have to have 50 followers on YouTube to stream there? Yes. You do have to have at least 50 followers on YouTube. All right. It's not on Android. Okay. So I guess only on iOS. I don't see that on my show page. What do you not see, King Kim? So yeah, if you want to start multicasting on YouTube, you'll need to start getting more subscribers. So be sure and list your social media links in your profile. And during live shows, just ask people if they would, go subscribe to your YouTube channel so you can start building that up. And I wanted to do it because I want to be able to have people, since they took away past shows, I want to be able to do multicast onto YouTube so people can go and watch the shows there and, get the information there that they missed. And also in sewing and crafting, we do a lot of tutorials, craft alongs, things like that. And so I used to have those in my past shows, and that's now gone. So I'm going to redo the one I because I make these little boxy baskets and eyeglass cases and some other things out of the upholstery fabric samples. And I had that up on my past shows, so I'm going to have to redo it and put it on YouTube. What are the envelopes? So Jennifer, if you want to be able to send giveaways or have some items for sale that can be sent in an envelope. So like if you do a giveaway and it's a card and stickers or a gift card or something flat that can be sent in an envelope, a paper envelope, you can do that instead of having to spend $4 to $7 to send a giveaway. You're sending a giveaway for 73 cents. So that's what that is. And just click that picture and you can read how to get this all set up. And then you'll be able to do those more, the less expensive giveaways. There's some rules about it that you need to read. You can't send anything valued over $20. It has to be less than 1/4 of an inch thick. It can't be over the certain sizes that it lists in there because you're sending it in a paper envelope through snail mail. So you have to read all of that. Let's see. I do not have 50 followers on YouTube. Could you please follow me there too? Yes. So Mod Vintage. If you'll look at my YouTube, is in the show notes. So it's the thing right above the first starred bullet. If you'll go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, as long as you have a public channel, I'll see that and I'll be able to follow you back. So make sure that's the other thing. If you want to use YouTube, make sure you have a public channel. Because if it's private, people aren't going to be able to find it to subscribe. So make sure you have it set for public. Because you want people to be able to see it. Let's see. I wish they had a portfolio tab for the artist's past work, or at least some pictures with the reviews. That would be awesome. What I would suggest for that Lost Mermaid Gifts is that you, have listings with pictures, and also have, some places on your profile, like in your, what is that called up in the top? The backdrop, feature some of your past artwork, but also put it on your social media. Give people your social media links in your profile so they can go check you out on the social media as well. All right. Yes, Sassamom, same thing. I think, didn't you already subscribe on mine and I subscribed back? I think I did, but I can't remember. So anyone that has a public profile that is on YouTube that subscribed to mine, I went and already looked and subscribed back to anyone that has a public profile. So if you want me to, yeah, I did. Okay, good. Yeah. So just go subscribe on my YouTube, and then as long as your profile is public, I will be able to see that you followed me or subscribed, and I'll subscribe back. So yeah. And that's what a lot of us, honestly, I was thinking about it the other day, and if everyone who's a seller on Whatnot was diligently sharing, multicasting, doing all that stuff on their social media, imagine the reach we could have and how many people would be finding us, because everybody's doing that. And I know it's a lot of work to, post to social media, but it's not too much work once you get it set up to, because you can automatically just share your show really quick to your social media. And I try to do that right before I go live. I share my show on Facebook and on Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, because it lets you just share to social media straight from inside the show. You just open your show, you click that share button, and instead of clicking on people, so I'm showing you here, instead of clicking on people, you're clicking on your social media. So if I want to share this show to Facebook, I just click Facebook. Now, it depends on how you have it set up. Instagram's kind of glitchy. I don't usually share direct to Instagram. I share it by creating on Facebook, copy and paste into Instagram. I don't know why Instagram's so glitchy, but it is. Let's see. What is the B badge on her profile? It's because she has earned my first level of rewards. So the rewards program, I have mine all customized, and my first level is Draz B, and I use little custom icons for that. If you have questions about rewards, so I love the reward system because I like to use coupons. And before, I was having to create coupons, give coupon codes, etc., etc. And now it's all automated through the reward system. And it rewards the people who shop with me the most. That's how the reward program works. It's awesome. So if you want to learn more about that, so you can see on my Android phone that my husband's logged in, see the little B up there? That's my rewards program. Click it, and it shows you, the different levels that I have set up and the little custom icons that I created. And it shows you what you can get coupon-wise under each of the levels. Yeah. Yeah, and anyone can do that now. So anyone who has access to the rewards program, you have to hit a certain criteria, but once you have access, you can now customize it with your own little badges and everything. So go look up the rewards program if you want to start using it. See what, I can't remember what the baseline is for when you are able to start using it, but I think you have to have done a certain number of shows and had a certain number of sales, but I don't know what it is. Does anyone know? So I don't think they set it too high. I think it's pretty achievable. So if anyone knows, shout it out in the chat. But yeah, I love it because it's automated and it just rewards people, gives them their coupons as they shop. And I don't have to, go enter a bunch of stuff every show to do that. So, all right, I'm watching time because I need to go pretty quick today because I've got a show to get ready for. Let's see, never heard of any seller not qualified to offer them. Yeah, I think there's a baseline of, how many items or how many shows you've done before you can start using the rewards. But like I said, I think it's pretty achievable. So, and the main thing about setting up the reward system is they have analytics on there for you so that you can do it smart. Don't set up a reward system that is going to cost you too much money because you were too generous with the coupons or something, So you've got to be smart about how you set it up and make sure you do it in a way that's going to, encourage your buyers to buy more, but not cost you more than some other system would have cost you. So yeah, be careful about and thoughtful and use the analytics they have right there on the system to show you what your analytics are. Okay, so 50 plus orders and 1,000 revenue. Yeah, see, that's pretty achievable, right? So you don't even have to have 1,000 sales yet, just 50 orders and $1,000 revenue sales. Okay, so once you hit that, you're going to be able to set up the reward system on the next season that you're, the next season that's coming up, and it's every 3 months. A new season starts. So, Very cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. If you have any burning questions or anything else I need to show you, let me know. Let's see. Could you show how to use fur scraps onto leather shoes or purses? Also, how to repair. So that's not my expertise, but there's a couple of sellers. Trimz, Trimzz. She does a lot with shoes. Kinetic might be able to tell you. Kinetic Lace, are you in here? Is that something you would be able to show? So how to use fur scraps on leather shoes or purses, and also how to repair. So yeah, that's not my forte, but Trimz does a lot with shoes. She does fabric on shoes. She's an expert seamstress. She has professional industrial type sewing machines and equipment. And she does a lot of stuff like that. Make sure you're following her if you are interested in. She does a lot of tutorials where she shows how to do things, and then she also sells. So, yeah, she's awesome. So she's definitely one of what I want to be when I grow up. As far as sewing, probably never get there, just because I don't have room for all that equipment. But yeah, let me just tag her real quick so you can see her name and give her a follow. So I just tagged her in the chat, and that's who you would want to follow. And she might be able to give you some pointers on that for sure. All right, so I need to get going. Everybody, I'm back on Thursday morning, same thing. If you didn't get all the documents you wanted, again, you just go to the auction tab and click on the one you want, screenshot the pages. There's one in there about shipping, one in there about shaking the nerves, goals, the envelope shipping guide, and then my top 10 tips. Oh, I know one I need to add too. So there's if you want to take a break, so if you're going to do a live show and something comes up, or you know that you need to take a break for something, you can end your show. You can even raid and end your show. And then as long as you go back live within 2 hours of the time that you ended, you can continue that same show, that same stream, and your buyers can come back on and still get bundled shipping. So I want to show you, let me find, let's see. It's under restart. And I forgot to add that. Here it is. All right, I just imported that. So it's in the auction tab. Let me pin it really quick. This is the instructions of how to restart your show if you end and then want to come back on within 2 hours. So just click that and take a screenshot of that really quick, because that's another amazing tip. Yeah, you can restart if you raid. So you can, because these are the instructions of how to do it going through the shows in your seller hub. So you can end, you can raid, and everything. And as long as you come back on using this process within 2 hours, you can continue that stream. So it's because that they allow that so that you can do bundled shipping for a continuation of your show. So the one you're talking about is if you minimize. So yes, if you raid, you still can do it following these instructions. I promise. I've done it. So if you raid someone else and you've ended your show and then you want to come back on, follow these instructions and you can do it. Because it brings your show back up live and allows you to go live again under that same show. but you have to do it this way in that picture I have pinned. All right. So that's how it works. All right. Oh, you tried even talk to whatnot. Yeah, because I've done it before. So it works. I'm not sure why it didn't work for you. Maybe, are you Android? Does it say on here if you have to be, let's see. So you go into the web version. You have to go into the web version. Go into your seller hub. Go into the shows. Go down to that past show. And then click to open that show. And then it will show back up on your profile as a show that is still active. And then you click it to go back and go live. So, yeah, try it. I'm not sure why it didn't work for you. Yeah, you're on iPhone. Yeah, it works for me. So, yeah, it should work. All right, I need to go. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And appreciate you guys being here. It's not on the app. You have to do it from the web version. Yeah, to do that. Yeah, so follow that little thing I just pinned. And you guys have a great day too. And let me go see who we're going to raid. Let's see. Oh, Lisa by Design has just gone live. She was just in here. So let's go raid her. That's fun. I love to be able to raid into someone that was just there. So we're going to go raid into Lisa by Design. And you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks, everyone.